When we say be prepared for the marathon, real estate is a career that can last basically forever. In fact, the average age of the typical agent is around 58 years old. And so it's a career chosen to be an actual career, not a job. When we talk about be prepared for the marathon, what we're trying to prepare you for is that the beauty part about real estate comes after the effort and the amount of time spent to build a book of business. But building a book of business takes time. And when I try to explain to agents out there who get frustrated or upset that in their first year they didn't make $250,000 so they think they failed, I just shake my head because it's not realistic. And even if you have a great first year, awesome. It's about steady pace. But we cannot get down on ourselves in terms of that first year or second year or third year, because we're going to be doing this forever. So that marathon comes into play when we start thinking about the fact of step by step, brick by brick. That's how great real estate agents, great real estate teams, and great real estate companies are born. But what we must do during that marathon is understand the fundamental principles of what a proper setup for success looks like. Making sure that we have the right resources and tools, CRM systems, texting capabilities in our systems, website, fundamental basics in order to get up and running and at least get started, open house signs. So when we talk about things being a marathon, remember the one thing that's critical when you get into real estate. Nobody is telling you to go to work that day. The second you leave a normal job and you become a real estate professional, nobody is forcing you to go to work. And that's a hard thing for people to wrap their brain around because most people are accustomed to having to go to a job, 9 to 5, 8 to 4. And if they don't show up, they get fired and they don't get a check. It's the same mentality within real estate, except the fact that you don't have to go to work if you don't want to. But if you don't go to work, you're not going to get the checks. The checks will be fewer and farther between. And so great real estate professionals have an instinct about them that they're excited and passionate to get up for work every day. Because every day it's all on you. And that's the entrepreneurial spirit. We as real estate professionals are entrepreneurs. We're sales professionals. We're contractors. But we're entrepreneurs. And so when I see agents that at 2 o'clock in the afternoon on a Wednesday are wrapping up their day, I say to myself, how can you have a full day of work if it's 2 o'clock? Why are you not working on Saturday or Sunday? That's where the money's made in this business. See, the thing is that we got to have that instinct internally that we're going to work and no one needs to tell me to work. And that's a hard, hard thing to grasp. Because our whole life we've been told when to show up to get a paycheck. Now it's all on you. I do relate it to college. When you're in high school, you have to go to school or you don't graduate high school. You have to go to high school. You have to go to junior high school. You have to go to elementary school. Your mom wakes you up, 7 a.m. Brush your teeth, do your hair, go to school. I'll see you at 3. For years and years, we're conditioned to that. Just like when we start a job, we're conditioned to go to our job every day. But college is different than high school, and college is more like real estate. College is entrepreneurial. If you don't feel like going to class at 8 a.m., don't go to class. No one's forcing you to go to class. You just better be able to pass your tests. And in real estate, that's the case too. You don't have to go to work every day, but you better make sure you're selling houses or you're not getting a check. So if we understand that we have to be instinctive about the fact of, even if I don't have something on my agenda today, even if I'm not showing houses, even if I don't have a listing appointment, I need to find ways to be busy. Those that find ways to be busy in this business are the ones that work their way to the top of this business in the marathon. Real estate, you start from square one, which is zero. And year over year, over year, over year, we add more clients, more people that we meet in our sphere, more transactions, and year over year over year, the great agents increase their production. Barring a really bad economy, a recession, something that changes the market in a sense. But in a stable environment of real estate, every year you should do better. So don't beat yourself up on the first year if you don't make the money that you think you should make. Set realistic goals for yourself year over year over year. Have somebody that you're chasing. I always pick somebody that I wanted to surpass. When I went into the field, I wanted to be the #1 agent in the state of Arizona, but I knew that was unrealistic. So what I did is I wanted to be the #1 agent under 30 first. That was my first goal, and I hit it. My next goal was to be the #1 agent under this age of 40, and I hit that. And at that point in my career, I realized that the next year, it is within reach, although a lofty goal, it is within reach to be the #1 agent in the state. And I hit that goal. And once I started building my team, I wanted to have the #1 team in the state. And as I surpassed that, I then wanted to be the #1 team in the country. And now I've done that. Year after year after year, I set goals for myself that I wanted to achieve based on looking at who I wanted to surpass and what I wanted to become. And that's important because we always should be chasing something. We should always be finding ways to motivate ourselves through our own discipline to become the best that we can be. And being #1 is a lonely spot. There's only one of them. So you don't have to be #1. You just have to see that year over year over year, your career is progressing. You're getting more referrals from your past clients. That's your first step. Building your book of business is the most important thing to do. Work every deal you can work. Rental, low purchase price, low listing, doesn't matter. You're in this to learn first, to become an expert, to become a pro. When you start to become really good, you'll start to close more deals. When you start to close more deals, you'll get more referrals. When you start getting more referrals, you will have more money to spend on marketing to drive more leads. Then you can drive more closings and then start hiring people underneath you. This is the evolution of real estate. But from the beginning, understand that that evolution and that marathon, it is a build. It is constantly, constantly building. I build every day still, relentlessly, because I'm passionate about maintaining #1. And you should be relentless about maintaining the fact of, I am going to build year over year over year, and that Rome was not built in a day. Neither is a real estate career. Just keep plugging away and stay in the race. Those that stay in the race always get to the finish line, always. So don't give up, do not get discouraged, and just know, quarter by quarter, and then year by year, and you will ultimately see, in a very short period of time, how successful you can be, and then it'll become up to you to see how successful you're going to be. So welcome to the marathon, and welcome to the world of real estate.